Again, similar problem here, number 16. If you happen to know De Morgan's laws, then we know that this statement is equivalent to not P and the negation of not Q is Q. And these two statements, therefore, are not going to be equivalent. Okay, so the correct answer, of course, would be B, but let's go ahead and work it out, and we'll see. We're going to need a not Q. We're going to need P or not Q. We're going to need its negation, not P or not Q. And we'll need a not P. And finally, we'll need not P or Q. A lot of helper rows here. And we're going to compare this column with this column. And the question here again is, are they equal? Again, true, false, false, true, false, false, true, true. The negation of the Q column would be true, false, true, false. P or not Q would be this or this, which is true, false, true, true. The negation of this, false, true, false, false. The not P column would be false, true, true, false. And now not P or Q quite a distance away, but we're taking this or this. So we get false, this or this. We get true, this or this. We get true, and this or this. We also get true. And let's check false, true, false, 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 true, true, true. These are not equal, and therefore the statements are not equivalent. Number 17, P and Q are the following statements, and it should be fairly clear to you that this statement is false and this statement is false. So the value of not P is not false, and the value of Q is false. And so we have now true implies false, and that is false. So the correct answer here is B. Number 18 asks us to diagram this argument, not to determine its validity, but the first premise is, if I lie frequently, people will not trust me. So it's an implication, and all these are implications, depending upon whether you consider this second part of the first premise, the conclusion of this implication, if that is considered a simple statement, okay, or not. So this could be written as Q or not Q. Is it Q or is it not Q? We don't know. So you have to be careful there. You can see in these first two cases it's considered not Q, and these two cases considered Q. The second premise is I don't lie frequently, which is clearly the negation of I lie frequently. So for example, we can toss this one out. Okay, and we can toss out this one. Okay, now the only question is between these two, and this one's what's called a strong distractor. I think the reason why people chose this incorrectly is because they see the not there and they think, okay, it must be a not. But P and Q aren't necessarily simple statements. In fact, the correct answer has Q as the statement, people will not trust me. And you can see the reason why this is the choice is because we know that the second part of the first premise, people will not trust me, has the opposite value of the conclusion, people will trust me. So I know that whatever's here and here have to be negations of each other, and you can see in this case that's not true. So the correct answer here would be C. And in this one, which truth table column heading will determine the validity of the argument diagrammed at right, whether this is a valid argument or not, and it is valid. But in any case, we know that the conjunction of the premises implying the conclusion is what we want. That is, this and this together imply this. So we're looking for P or Q and not Q together imply P. So this is the correct answer here. And again, this was a strong distractor, and that shouldn't be a strong distractor because it's got too many implications in it. An argument is itself a big implication, and that guy right there is the big argument. It's premises to conclusion. Premise and premise imply conclusion. That's what we're looking at. Okay. Numbers 20 and 21 deal with this bar graph of students' birth months. And let's just go ahead and determine the truth or falsity of the two individual statements. At least 10 students were born in February. In February there were, it looks like 11 students born, so that is true. Only 2 students were born in May. In May we see there were 3 students born, so that is false. Okay. And let's look at the next two. Less than 5 students were born in December. Let's see. Less than 5 students born in December. You can see here that's false because there were 6 students born in December. So less than 5 students born in December is false. And only 3 students were born in May. Only 3 students born in May, that's true. So this way we don't have to look back at the chart all the time. So the first one said, construct the symbolic representation of this sentence using P's and Q's. Less than 10 students were born in February. Well, at least, remember, at least means greater than or equal to. So this is the negation of P. The negation of P, or only 2 students were born in May, that's Q itself. Okay, so it's not P or Q, and again you can rule out. And I'm not sure why this was a strong distractor, because less than 10 students and at least 10 students are clearly not the same thing. So we want to determine again, it's either D or A question of whether it's true or false. In the case up here, we see we have not P is not T, not true, or Q is or false. And that is the same as false or false, which we happen to know is false. So the correct answer is A. And 21, if then, so we have an implication. So all of these are implications. If less than 5 students were born in December, so that's certainly P, implies there weren't 3 students born in May. Only 3 students, or exactly 3 students, and not 3 students. That would be the negation of Q. And according to the values we've determined, that would be false arrow, and at this point we can simply say it's going to be true. P arrow not Q, and the statement is true because false implies anything will be true. But just to be complete about this, this is false implies not true, which is false implies false, which is of course true.